For years, the idea of a permanent motor racing circuit in this country was only a pipe dream. There were thousands who hoped for it, but nobody had the courage to make it a living reality. Then last December, work commenced on a new venture at Naas, Mondello Park. Since then, the name Mondello has virtually become a household word. Certainly, it has become known to every Irish motor enthusiast, and genuine interest is being shown from abroad. Mondello has stimulated a vigour and vitality within motor clubs, a vigour that has not been apparent since the days of the Irish Grand Prix and the Ulster TT. It makes us think that motor racing may soon become a majority sport, just as it is in the United States and Europe. Mondello has aroused interest from the tourist angle, and in years ahead, when the extensions take place, it could very well be the location of something on the lines of the Irish Grand Prix. Some weeks ago, the Leinster Club staged their trophy meeting at Mondello, introducing for the first time ever in Ireland these very fast and spectacular Formula 3 cars. Leinster imported 10 of the top names in the Formula, a venture that proved very successful. What does Formula 3 mean? Roy Pike explains.
Well, Formula 3 is a very sophisticated motor car, very similar to Formula 1 and Formula 2, except the weight is a bit less, being 800 pounds. The engine is a Ford engine, generally, 1,000 cc's, single carburetor, and produces about 115 miles an hour. And at circuits like Reims, this will give you almost 150 miles an hour.
What is the reaction of the drivers? What makes man drive at such speeds? And how breathtaking is the whole affair?
Now, you'll earn your living at motor racing, right?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I enjoy it. I've always been interested in motor cars. I enjoy traveling. A lot of it's just plain, the adventure and the freedom it allows you.
You're 26 years of age and you come from San Francisco, but you got freckles and red hair. How
Yes.
come?
Well, they tell me all Americans are related more or less to Irish, I think. And I'm Irish, French, and English. It's quite a pleasure to come to Ireland. I've always wanted to.
Now, Charles Lucas, what brings you motor racing in Ireland?
Well, my first love is obviously motor racing, and when I heard there's a race on a Mondello Park, I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone and come over to see my parents, who've got a stud farm up at Leeslip, and do some motor racing at the same time.
Why not horse racing?
I'm a bit young to go horse racing, I think, really. You've got to be a bit more old and staid for horse racing.
Charles Sire, this is your first year at serious motor racing. Why did you go Formula 3?
Formula racing, such as Formula Ford, Formula 3 and Formula 2. Formula 2 is obviously terribly expensive, costs about £6,000 for a new car, minimum.
3 drivers with considerable experience, 3 men champions in their own right, but who are using this form of racing so as that it can join the princes of the sport, the Formula 1 set. But all cannot make that great. In fact, very few can afford to go motor racing unless it is in the standard class, a class becoming increasingly popular. And if this popularity continues, motor racing could well become a sport for all.
If the single-seater racing cars have dominated the Leinster Trophy meeting, the saloons still say as interesting and as complicated as ever. This fuel-injected saloon car belongs to one of Ireland's top saloon drivers, Alec Poole. Alec, why do you go saloon car racing?
Well, there are a number of reasons. I think the main one is that it's cheaper than, say, single-seater racing, but also I think it adds a bit more spectacle, and on top of that, I think as we are already in the trade, I think it helps on the publicity side.
Sheila Martin, you're the wife of a racing driver. Are you ever scared of motor racing?
Oh, sometimes, but not always, because I don't have time really to be scared when my husband is on the track. Because when he's out there, I'm taking time, and it's only if I notice that he's a few seconds late, I begin to wonder where he is. But then, usually he shows up.
Does a noise like that frighten you?
No, not anymore. The lawnmower frightens me more.
Why do you go motor racing?
Oh, I think it's very exciting and I like it. I think it's the most exciting sport.
Why did you pick motor racing?
Well, since I've met Brian Cullen, I follow him around, and yeah, it's interesting to see how he does in racing and at these, especially here at Mondello.
One of the visitors to the Leinster meeting at Mondello was Sid Taylor of Walsall, who incidentally was born at Rathfarnham and who presently holds the record for the long circuit in the Phoenix Park. Sid has brought along such drivers over the years as Denny Hume and Frank Gardner. Now his impressions of Mondello should be worth listening to. With so many racing circuits in England, do you think that we're going to get the English drivers to come over here?
Yes, I think you will really. You'll get the sort of chappers you have here today, Charles Lucas and Rye Pike. These are all up-and-coming Grand Prix drivers, and I think it's a great training ground for the Irish lads in particular. But
would you like to see road racing disappear? Would you like to see the Phoenix Park disappear?
No, I would not really. No, I'd like. It's about the only one road race now left in Europe, in actual fact, and I think it'd be a great shame to see it disappear completely.
Do you think there's a future for motor racing in Ireland? You've been abroad with Brian.
I think so, but I think there's a lot of improvements could be done, especially to Mondello, with sort of more amusements for people when in between races and so on.
Eileen Blake and Bill Kinnear, both from Belfast. What brings you down here for today?
Just to see the racing.
Is it that interesting?
Oh yes.
Bill, what about Mondello?
Well, it's a very nice circuit, very nice permanent circuit. We unfortunately in the north have very, very temporary circuits, with the exception of the 500 Club.
Will Mondello affect motor racing in the north?
I don't think so. I think it may attract more people to the sport.
Now, what's wrong with Mondello? It's in the early stages of development. What would you like to see happen to it?
Well, you have improved it since I was at the first meeting. You've widened the track in certain places, and I think if you've got a little bit, a quarter of a mile or half a mile extra in length, it'd be a wonderful circuit.
Jim Murn, you're one of the 3 directors of this new circuit. Are you happy what has happened?
Very, Michael, yes.
What would you like to see happen in the future?
Well, of course, our ambition, both Stuart and Eddie and my own ambition, is to see the circuit increased to 2.5 miles eventually.
And this takes time and money.
Of course it does, yes.
Now, there is a very good crowd here today. I estimated around 10 to 15,000 people. Is this what you have been aiming at?
Well, it's a very good. It's meeting our expectations very well, yes. And looking around, you can see yourself the crowd, the area. There's quite a few people all around.
You live locally here, Jim. What is the reaction being to in Cara and Dunor and places like
the reaction, Michael, is one of nothing only complete happiness. Everyone seems to be very, very happy with it.
And they're happy with safety, and they're happy with the
with the amount. Of course, it brings new life into the area.
Would you like to see a big crash?
Not particularly, no. Makes it more exciting, I suppose.
No, certainly not.
No.
Why?
If anybody's hurt.
Would you like to be a racing driver?
I would, yes, I'd love to.
Would you like to race yourself?
I'd love to race myself.
Have you got ambitions to become a single-seater racing driver?
Well, not particularly, but for larger sports cars, that sort of thing. Big engine sports cars, yes, very much so.
Do you make motor racing a business, or have you got another business beside?
Well, fortunately, I've got another business beside, otherwise I'd be broke very soon.
A little like horse racing in a way, in that there's more money in... if you want to make some money at it, you have to build the cars and the engines yourself, rather than just rely on winning the races.
Now, have you ambitions to go Formula 1 or Grand Prix racing?
Not really. I don't think I have the ability for a Grand Prix driver, but I still can't. I can't stop because I enjoy it so much. That's really it, you know. And if you enjoy it, well, why the hell, you know.
What are the attractions to go motor racing apart from the thrill of driving fast cars and the challenge of competition? Rye Pike, for his win in the Formula 3 race at the Leinster meeting, was awarded the Home Patrick Perpetual Trophy, over £50 in cash and £20 worth of brandy. But not all do as well as Pike. A full programme of meetings is planned for next year, and at the same time the Phoenix Park 2-day meeting draws attendances in the region of 30,000.
Well, I suppose a Pike